Powered by the Montana Television Network. This is the 530 News on Q2, Montana's news leader.
Hello, good Saturday evening, folks. Thank you so much for tuning into the Q2 Weekend News. I'm Dustin Klemann. Businessman and real estate mogul Steve Wynn has resigned from his position as finance chairman for the Republican National Committee amid sexual misconduct allegations. Now, two Montana leaders are facing questions about what they will do with financial contributions made by Wynn for their campaigns. Wynn is also facing allegations of sexual misconduct following a story in the Wall Street Journal that published on Friday. He denies the allegations, calling them preposterous. The heat was turned up on Republicans to return donations from the Las Vegas mogul as the nation continues to face a reckoning over sexual harassment and the RNC-backed controversial Alabama Senate candidate Roy Moore in the state special election. Just this election cycle, Wynn has given $100,000 to the National Republican Senatorial Committee, with a small portion to Congressman Greg Gianforte. Records show Wynn and his wife donated $5,400 to Gianforte May 25th, the day of the special election and a day after Gianforte assaulted a reporter. Meanwhile, Senator Steve Daines received a $10,400 donation from the Wynns in his 2014 Senate race. A spokesman for Congressman Greg Gianforte said in a statement, quote, "Greg believes the allegations, if true, are reprehensible. The campaign will donate the $2,700 received to charity." Daines has yet to respond to our request for comment. Aides told the Billings Gazette they called the accusations disturbing and wanted more information on the accusations before deciding what to do with the contributions. Now, it should be noted, Wynn has also made contributions to Democrats in the past, including former Montana Senator Max Baucus. Back to Billings, where two robberies occurred late Friday night, just 12 minutes apart. Still no suspects in custody. At 11:44 last night, two men stole a 1994 Honda Accord from its owner at gunpoint on the south side. Police say during the robbery, a suspect fired a single round but did not strike anyone. Details on them are limited at this time. The first suspect is described as a skinny 23-year-old, about 5 feet 11 inches tall. The second man is also only described as a white 23-year-old. Across town in the West End at 11:56 p.m., a suspect robbed a casino on 24th Street at gunpoint. He fled out the back door with an undisclosed amount of money. He's described as a tall male with glasses and a medium to heavy build. No one was injured in that robbery, and none of the suspects in either robbery are in custody tonight. The deaths of 7 more children were reported this week, bringing the total number of pediatric flu deaths to 37 this season. In Montana, reports show no pediatric deaths have occurred, but 20 have died. And the number of those testing positive for influenza is still on the rise. Nearly 600 new cases were reported in 45 counties across the state this week alone. Lewis and Clark County reporting 71 in 1 week, and Yellowstone at 47 new cases. To date, all but one county has reported at least one case of influenza. To national news, President Donald Trump denies he ever ordered the firing of special counsel Robert Mueller, calling recent reports fake news. Hannah Doba has more on the story that's gripping Washington tonight.
This is what democracy looks like.
Hundreds of protesters hit the streets of Washington Saturday, many demanding the impeachment of President Trump. The march took place a day after the president returned to the White House from his trip to the World Economic Forum in Davos, Switzerland.
I think it was a very, very successful trip.
Mr. Trump did not address a New York Times report that said he'd ordered the firing of special counsel Robert Mueller last summer. CBS News has confirmed that the president expressed anger at Mueller's investigation and raised concerns about potential conflicts of interest. Advisors, including White House lawyer Don McGahn, convinced Mr. Trump that those conflicts weren't grounds to dismiss Mueller and that firing him would be politically catastrophic. The president changed his mind.
Fake news, folks. Fake news.
What's your message today?
Typical New York Times fake stories.
In Davos, Mr. Trump denied that he wanted to fire Mueller, but he's since been silent on the issue, neither speaking or tweeting about it.
We don't know what kind of evidence the special counsel has. He's not giving reporters updates. He's keeping his cards close to the vest. The big question that's on everybody's mind right now is when will the president talk to Bob Mueller, and if he will, or whether he'll back out of that.
Earlier this week, Mr. Trump said he was looking forward to being interviewed by Mueller and hoped it would happen soon. In Adoba, CBS News.
Congressional Democrats are calling for a Senate vote on a bill that would protect Mueller from being fired. But Republican leaders say the White House appears to be cooperating with the special counsel's investigation. We change gears now into a little bit lighter news. Teams put together their best game plans for the party known as the Munchie Bowl. In its 9th year, 12 teams competed in the annual competition at Beartooth Harley-Davidson today. Hundreds of fans came out to taste their favorite recipes and even decided to put some on their Super Bowl Sunday list. A panel of 3 judges had the honor of tasting everything that was on the menu. It's a fun event for fans and a fundraiser also for the Trinity Lutheran School in town. The party has become a tradition for many the week before Super Bowl.
Bringing people together in the middle of January when it's a little cold outside and people can't get out on their bikes as much. The roads are icy, so it's just something to get everybody together. And good food, football, Harleys, they kind of step up their game a little bit every year. Especially with the clubs, there's some pretty stiff competition. They like to do one-up on each other and little friendly competition.
We have the judge's choice that just came into the newsroom. Jerry Frank and Tara Anderson for the pork tidbits. The People's Choice is also the Leatherneck Motorcycle Club for rolls on Montezuma. That sounds interesting. Also, the Bikers Against Child Abuse won for best booth. Hundreds of kids visiting the Boys and Girls Clubs every day in Billings. Supporters also coming out today to raise money to help the club. The vintage sale and flea markets, they started about 35 years ago and goes on 3 times a year. As you can see, plenty of things to check out. Vendors bring in antiques, handmade goods, and more, including slot machines. They turn the clubhouse into a place to find potential treasures. They're out to help kids who come to the club during the week after school.
The kids need some place to go that's safe after school, especially in this day and age.
Always help the kids, and it's always been very important to us.
Optimist's motto is to help the kids, and so everything that we do is for the kids.
And you still have time. Flea market finishes up tomorrow from 10 to 4. It's at the Bear Family Clubhouse on Orchard Lane. Still ahead on the Q2 Weekend News, combining medications to lower both blood pressure and cholesterol may help prevent strokes. We'll have that story in medical news next. And later in sports, could Josh Allen really be the #1 overall pick in April's NFL draft? His performance at today's Senior Bowl said a lot. And in the Weather Center, Brett McCrummick. Good evening, sir.
And good evening to you. We've got snow in the forecast. Let's go ahead and take a look at our current conditions. Currently it's 16 degrees here in Billings. We've got northeast winds at 10 miles an hour, so it makes it feel like 4 degrees above zero. Our barometric pressure holding steady and our humidity currently at 77%. Like I said, snow showers to develop tonight, especially north and east of Billings. We'll have all the details with your full forecast in just a few minutes.